I'd like to call to order the Willington Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Commission today, June 24th, 2024. Time is now 7:35. This is a hybrid meeting, online and in person. First order of business is to roll call. All seating members are present. There's no seeing of alternatives. Move on to the next agenda item, Inland Wetlands Application 24-6, construction of a single-family dwelling with wetland disturbance at 85 Moose Meadow Road, map block lot 26004-0A, owner applicant F. McNutt. So this application is being received. Has the commission had a chance to review what was provided to us in the application?
I looked at it this afternoon, Patrick.
It doesn't seem to be a whole lot of substance here except for the site plan.
I'm sorry, would you repeat that?
There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of substance with the application except the site plan for what they're proposing on the property.
Well, what more would you expect for a single family home in an R80 zone?
So just looking at the application itself, they're proposing, I had it here somewhere. In the application materials itself, let's see. The wrong one.
This is obviously a very tough parcel with its proximity to the Fenton River.
So they're proposing, I don't know if these numbers are correct, Mike, but it says 2,400 square foot of wetlands affected. And then they're proposing over 18,000 square feet of wetland disturbance. My question is, that's an awful lot. I didn't see anything where there was alternatives proposed. And I think this would trigger, I was looking at the regulations earlier, and would this, under section 5.3, now be under the jurisdiction of the DEP, because they would have to file something with the Army Corps for that amount of fill.
I think that calculation includes the upland review, which is,
Yes, it does. Because the approximate square footage of wetlands affected is 2,400 square feet.
It says total amount of square footage of soil disturbance
Yeah.
within wetland.
That's including the upland review area.
It is, okay. So I would just like to know from the applicant when it comes time, like what the actual plan is here. Where do they plan on filling? And that would still trigger something with the Army Corps, actually, via self-verification.
yeah, so the only thing that, I mean, obviously we'll communicate that, and I haven't gone through this in great detail as of yet. The only thing you need to decide tonight, if you feel there's any reason to have a public hearing.
I'd like to open it to the floor of the commission members if they would like to speak on that and what their thoughts are.
I think that the proximity to the Fenton, which is a prime water course, the extensive wetlands that border it, and the positioning of the fill that's going to go into this, I think that's something that warrants giving the public the opportunity to comment.
Ralph or Mark?
The only issue I see here is, yeah, we've got a fair amount of fill, primarily because of the wetland that drains underneath the driveway to the I'm not sure of north on this map. All right, that would be towards
North is to the right, yeah.
yeah, towards the left side. There's a lot of fill. If you look at the proposed contours,
Okay.
there's a fair amount of fill there. And all they're attempting to do there is to transport the water from the wetlands in the lower right corner of the plan, which I think is probably a drainage from the opposite side of Moose Meadow Road, as well as some storm drainage from the road. All they're doing is piping that for some distance. And that's where there's going to be some fill. As far as the house site itself, I don't see a lot of new contour lines there that would indicate a fair amount of fill going in there. I think from the overall perspective of this entire property, they have probably picked the highest and driest location to build a home. I can't see that they'd be doing that anywhere else in the site. I got a meeting.
No, I would agree with that too, but we're just do you think a public meeting is warranted?
I'm mixed on it. I really don't see that it serves any great purpose. I think that perhaps Mike can handle this for the commission's concerns.
Mark, any input?
No, I'm kind of on the fence with this. I haven't taken any time to really look at the project, so I can't speak to it.
My concern is that we have another potential application coming in with significant disturbance of wetlands. And I would not like to see consideration of this develop a precedent that would make it difficult for us to review other encroachments on wetlands.
I would agree with that. I'm leaning towards just holding a public meeting. If people decide to show up, they have that opportunity, and I think that would be the right thing to do.
So the only thing I wanted to add is that this application, I'm trying to look through as quickly as I can to compare. This application is essentially the same plan that was approved by the Wetlands Commission in 1997. It obtained a permit in October. Permit is number 97019. And obviously that approval has expired. But in comparing the plans, they're essentially identical. So we can pull some of that relevant data together if you'd like, just to look at it. It's obviously expired and what, things may have changed on the property. But the site plans, the location of the driveway crossing, all of those things look to be identical to what was approved in 97.
Have the regulations changed?
They may have been modified, but they're the standard deep regulations, so they really shouldn't be substantially different. There was one revision in 2009.
Yeah.
What that revision was, I'm sure. The upland reviews and some of that regulatory stuff should not have changed.
Okay, well, if there's a commission precedent already established, and we understand that. I think that would weigh heavily also whether or not, how deeply we go into this. So,
Yeah, it seems like we're all on the fence a little bit about it. Do you know if they held a public meeting on that last application? I mean, it's so old, probably in the files.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through it. It doesn't say. Does not say specifically. No, I don't see anything either way. Just talks about the application.
Well, if we think about it, it's not a large, significant project. It's a single family home. As opposed to a larger development or a subdivision. So we need to make a decision.
Well, this lot would have been created as a subdivision back in 1982. I would assume back then, at least for planning and zoning, there would have been a public hearing.
Right, but right now we're just looking at
A single lot,
Construction.
that's correct.
construction of a single family home. So that being said, I think to put the single applicant through a public hearing, I'm leaning more towards against doing that.
I think there's some updating of information outside of our jurisdiction that needs to occur here. The septic system design is old. I'm not sure if that would fly today with Eastern Highlands. That's dated in 97. Septic tank of 1,050 gallons seems kind of small for a 3-bedroom house. I could be wrong.
Yeah, they may have just taken this plan and changed it a little bit and put a new date on it, but. Okay, well, those are things that will have to come up in the next meeting to see if the application is complete.
What's the over under on how we are proceeding?
I vote no public hearing. The rest of the commission can speak for themselves.
I'm good with no public hearing as long as some of this septic design it gets updated. Other than that, it's a relatively small single family home. I'm not concerned too concerned about this. As far as its impact on Fenton River, there's a massive flood reserve area to the left and above where the house is going. That's big, flat, swampy area there. I don't think there's a big flood issue, nor do I think there's a big flood, something that would constrict floodwaters from migrating downstream. So
Right.
I'm good with no public hearing.
Mark?
I'll go along with that. I honestly, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at this really enough. But I'll go along with your expertise.
Thank you for that vote of confidence. Okay. And I know we have one commission member that would like a public hearing, but due to the size of the project. So are we in a consensus that no public hearing is needed for this project?
My approval of that would be contingent on seeing the plans from the earlier approval of the commission.
We can include those in the next packet.
Okay.
That we can
All right.
do.
Yeah, there's a lot to digest with this one. Okay, moving right along. Next item on the agenda is old business, which I don't see. Next is approval of minutes. So we have minutes from December 18th, 2023, which was a long one.
Were those pushed out? Because I don't think I have them.
If you click on the online agenda, they're like green, so you can click on those or you can get them on the website. All I
Yeah, I
saw
don't
was
see minutes.
some typos, so we can just go through there. I don't want to call them all out. It's just simple things like instead of area, it's just ARE.
Okay, I'll move approval of the minutes of December 18th, 2023.
Do I have a second? Well, I'll second it.
What was the date again? December?
18th.
It was a special meeting.
I understand, but I thought I heard 2022.
2023.
No, 2023.
Yeah.
Well, I know that's what it's supposed to be, but I thought I heard 2022. Regardless, on that one, I would abstain because I haven't seen them.
So what was the motion? Approve the minutes with spelling corrections?
Correct.
Did I miss a vote?
No, we didn't have one yet.
David made the motion. I second it with the just typographical errors. Ralph abstained. Allowing Mark to review.
No, I'll accept everything as it's presented, except for the spelling errors.
Okay, next item on the agenda is, so let me just ask Mike. So I saw that there were meeting minutes for like March and April too. Is that right?
The other, that is listed in the May 20th. The May 20th minutes include March and April minutes. That's what you approved at the last.
Okay, okay, I got you. Okay, so Mark, you missed this meeting.
I didn't miss it. I was there, but for whatever reason, I couldn't talk.
Couldn't get in.
No, but I heard everything.
Okay, all right. These look good. Okay. If everyone's had a chance to peruse it, I would be open for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting of the minutes of May 20th, 2024. As written.
Is there a second on the floor?
I can second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll abstain since I'm not on the minutes.
All right, Mark abstains. Okay. Next item on the agenda is public hearing. We don't have a public hearing tonight. That moves us to the next agenda item, new business. We have a inland wetlands application 24/7 selective timber harvest at 140 Old Farms Road, map block lot 17031-0A, owner L. McCruel, applicant N. Mangiamelli of Whole Forest Products. So welcome, that must be Nicholas.
Yep, that's me.
All righty, man. Walk us through it here.
Oh, already. Well, 8-acre lot, pretty tight in there, but they got some pretty mature white pines growing along that western ridge, and the landowners are really just looking to have it cleared out. So instead of bringing in tree service, chipping everything, we're gonna go in, cut down some of the more mature pine to, manufacture durable wood products, do something useful with the lumber and the, viable logs. And then cutting down some more trees in the back part of the property. There's a small stream and a small pond on the eastern edge of the property. We're staying away from all of that. It gets a little steep over there. We don't want to get involved in that. And towards the front of the property, I sent in two maps. There's a map with the colored photo imagery background, and then there's one with just the white background. That black checkered area just shows you everywhere where we're not going to be doing any harvesting.
Okay. And you're gonna be accessing the property from the existing driveway?
Yep.
Okay.
Triaxle log truck, so nothing super big, but
You provide quite a bit of information, so appreciate that.
yeah, try to.
Mike, so we didn't get a forestry application for this?
That's what this is. It's just the wrong record type. There are no wetlands, so the number is incorrect, but it is a timber harvest application.
Okay.
So it's one of the things I just want to have you, I'll give you the number, that we will know.
Okay.
The portal's a little bit tricky with how it tells you which application you need, but the application number is TH24-3. So we'll convert it over to that.
Okay. Yeah, and I saw in all your application materials, you'll be adhering to the Connecticut DEP best management practices.
Yep. Yeah, I mean it's a small lot, and we're planning to do it in the winter, so I'm not, it's not very steep where we're harvesting. I'm not too worried about erosion, but obviously, wherever we do turn up soil in the springtime, I'll come in, throw down fresh seed just to stabilize the soil.
Okay. Okay. Any other commissioners? The commissioners have any questions for the applicant?
Well, it seemed to me that the lot is a relatively small lot for doing a timber harvest. I'm assuming since it's listed as tax exempt that it's in 490. That being the case, if you're taking all this lumber out of there, does it still qualify for being in 490? I think that's the right number for the tax exemption. It seems strange taking on an 8-acre lot, doing a timber harvest, but maybe that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, I like trees, but the landowners, they just see big, tall white pines, and they just see them as a hassle instead of beauty. So they want to get rid of them, and ultimately, it's their land. Lots too small to be eligible for the 490 program, so they're not. They have no tax benefits from that.
But there's some tax exemption associated with it, according to the assessor's records.
If they are in excess of 5 acres, they can be under the open space, which is a local classification, so they don't have to meet the state standards for farm or forest. So they must be under, yeah, they don't meet the qualifications for forestry, so they must just be under essentially excess acreage for 490.
Okay, which has a different tax classification.
Yeah, it's all PA 490, but the state allows towns to establish the thresholds locally for open space. Farm and forest they established by statute.
But if that's the case, then does the jurisdiction of that come under a different review process?
No, it's just any parcel in excess of 5 acres is eligible. So they would carve out the development piece, or the 2-acre building lot, and the balance could go into 490. So there's no development happening here that would create they would run afoul of any agreement that they have with the town.
Are there any other questions for the applicant?
I have none.
No.
Guess the floor is open for a motion. And this will be timber harvest application TH 24-3. I'd like to make a motion to approve timber harvest application TH 24-3, selective timber harvest at 140 Old Farms Road, map block lot 17-031-0A, owner Al McCruel, applicant N. Mangiamelli of Hall Forest Products.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is old business. I don't see anything there. Next is correspondence. Do we have any correspondence in the beginning mail this month?
The only correspondence which ties over into staff report is we just got the final effective notification via email, which waiting for the letter to come in from the state for the forest practices regulations. So those were endorsed by the commissioner at Deep. So the effective date of those will be May 29th. So we will now file them with the town clerk. We made binders for all you guys of all the updated regs that we have, so we slotted those in there. So next time you're here, you are in person, you can pick those up. They're posted online. So the new regulations are now moving forward, what we'll use to govern future timber harvest applications.
Okay, perfect.
Wonderful.
Good job, guys.
The only other thing that I would have under discussion, I think I mentioned at the last meeting, but there was a bill that was proposed that would have required you guys to attend annual training, like planning and zoning. But it failed, so you don't have to.
Shucks. That's a free lunch I'm missing.
You still can, we're not gonna stop you, but you're not required by statute.
Let me ask you that. Do they have like in-person training or is that just like their little online thing? 'Cause
Other
that
than like,
wasn't working for a long time.
yeah, other than the khaki wick, annual training or meeting or whatever it is, there's really nothing on the wetland side. There's a Connecticut Bar Association training, which happens every other year, that has a small amount of wetlands, but it's mostly planning and zoning.
Yeah.
And the deep training that you need, the statute requires that there be someone that has gone through the training, or the agent, which obviously I have. I don't know if you have, Patrick, but that process is now basically self-guided online. Used to go to like an in-person, like a couple of Saturdays or something. It's now fully done online. It's free of charge. You go through the modules, you listen, you take the little exam, and when you complete all the modules, they give you a certificate.
You're a certified commissioner.
Certified inland wetland commissioner training.
For the wetlands ones, it does take them like 4 weeks to actually send it to you with your name, though, if not longer.
Hmm. That's the government for you.
But it's good for a lifetime.
All right, that's cool. Excuse me. Sorry, any more staff report or discussion?
That's all I have.
All right. Okay. Next item on the agenda is public comment. So if there's anyone here from the public that would like to speak. I see Mr. Mers. Kathy,
Good
hi,
evening.
how are you?
Hi, Kathy Demers, 48 Mason Road. Just was wondering if the commission in general could consider if there's any applications that come in that have any, there are any references to prior subdivisions, that also the commission looks just to be sure that there wasn't some type of an easement placed on the subdivision in the past that we may not be aware of. We find sometimes things don't always transfer as easily, especially years ago, that information, so that we have it when we're looking at current applications. We find that to be true when we're reviewing some things from Conservation Commission.
Okay. Is that something, Mike, you and Evelyn can look at, or when these,
I mean-
these are coming in?
If we have the information in our office, like if there's a prior subdivision or, you know, if it's recorded somewhere and it was something that was required as part of the subdivision approval, then it should be on that map. And if the engineer is doing their title work correctly, they should be carrying it over. Because the only way to do a survey would be to do that review. If it's private or something that came after, not necessarily, but I would hope that they would pick that up when they're doing that. And it should be included at the very least in the map references.
A lot of times we do look into that when these permits come in too, just double checking the information. We can take a double look on this one too. That's not a problem.
Happening.
Yeah, I'll just tell you that from the Conservation Commission side, we have reviewed deeds sometimes where the information about conservation easements doesn't appear in later deeds. And they don't get picked up sometimes with title searches if they're not going back far enough. So it's just, you know, it's just a general comment when we're looking at applications, if there's any references in that are available that discuss subdivisions. I think it's a good thing to do.
Okay.
One other quick comment, tonight, when I was trying to connect for the Zoom meeting, I went to the agenda posted on the Inland Wetlands site and opened up the agenda for tonight. And the agenda's there and there's a Zoom link that is noted on it, but
Didn't
it's
work.
not, it didn't work. So yeah, I don't know if that, you had to type in the Zoom link yourself.
Hmm.
So.
Because I'm on, how did I get, so from the Willington website, go to boards and commissions. And then if you click on agenda,
It's not highlighted there, is it? No.
Yeah, we had some issues with the portal generating the documents when we were trying to set the agenda. So we had to basically recreate it manually. And it wasn't allowing us to carry over the hyperlinking for some reason, but hopefully the issue's fixed and it won't happen moving forward, but we had to get a workaround.
Oh, okay. Also, just so you know, usually I get e-blasts regarding Inland Wetland Commission agendas and meetings, and I didn't get any this time. I'm not sure where that is generated from the town, but the automatic alert about agendas and meetings didn't come up for Inland Wetlands this week. So.
And that's through the website. Whenever we post a document, an agenda or minutes, it should notify the subscribers. That is like an automatic function of the website. So if you continue to not get them, let me know and I can see if there's something going on, but that should all be happening for them based upon your subscription. But we can double check.
Okay, thanks.
thanks,
Hey,
Kathy.
Hey, Mike, on that topic,
Yeah,
The only thing that I received, I subscribe to almost all meetings, particularly anything with land use. I did not get an automatic push out of agendas or minutes for inland wetlands. I received the agenda because Peggy pushed it out, I think.
yep,
But as far as an automatic push coming from the town website, that did not occur. And that usually only occurs after the town clerk has received the agendas and minutes. So I wonder if that somehow correlates with us not getting them, even though we're subscribed.
yeah, so we have to post them directly now, because if we post them through the clerk, then the document that goes online isn't active, none of the links will work, because it's a scan, so we have to post the PDFs. But all of
know.
the commissions are set up so that that e-subscriber function, is all set, so it should be happening as soon as the document is updated, submitted for the first time or revised, when we upload it in the land use office, but I'll look. I don't know if it's when something flipped over for 2024, if something changed, but, we'll look.
Okay, because it's not happening. I mean, the 2 minutes we were talking about, they were not pushed out to me.
Okay.
I had to go find them.
We don't wanna make it too easy. We'll take a look and see, if there's something going on.
Hey, attending a meeting on a day like today is not easy, period. I'd rather be outdoors.
Well, the only thing left is adjournment, so I will.
Yeah, Mark.
That's the
I-
favorite.
So
I'll
Mark,
leave that up to Ralph.
do I hear Mark out there?
What's with the recording here? Somebody hitting the wrong button?
No,
I'll make a
it
motion.
keeps-
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.